Today, we're going to learn how to crochet this waffle stitch tote bag. It's made up of a few parts, starting with the base. The base has 4 rows, and then we move on to the body of the bag with the pattern. The first row of the body is just double crochet stitches with no increases or decreases. From the second row onward, you'll start creating a cross pattern every 2 rows, which will eventually form the waffle stitches. I'll guide you through making the base, the first row of the body, and 1 set of the patterns. You'll need to repeat the remaining 12 sets of the pattern on your own. After that, I'll show you how to crochet the handles, and finally, how to weave in the ends and attach the metal tag in the center of the bag. That's what we're going to cover today. Today, I'm using a different colored yarn for this demonstration. The yarn is variegated, so you don't have to worry about changing colors. But since this bag requires a lot of yarn, you'll need to skeins. I'll also show you how to join new yarns halfway through. I recommend pulling the yarn from the center of the skein. First, we need to leave enough yarn for the base. This bag can fit A4 sized paper, so make sure you leave enough yarn for a base that's long enough. In your kit, I've included 2.5 millimeters and 3.0 millimeters crochet hooks. If you want the bag to fit A4 paper, you should use the 3.0 millimeters hook. If you prefer a smaller, more detailed texture, you can use the 2.5 millimeters hook. Today, I'll demonstrate with the 3.0 millimeters hook. First, leave a 12 to 16 inch tail and hold it in place. Then, we'll start wrapping the yarn. Wrap it around your pinky, then hook it over your index finger and pinch the yarn with your thumb and middle finger, holding it at the 16-inch mark. Now, place your hook under the yarn and make a slip knot by wrapping the yarn counterclockwise, holding the cross of the yarn, and pulling through to tighten. If you're new to crocheting, I recommend using the base of the hook as a guide for how big the loop should be. Next, we'll start crocheting the base. Chain 60 stitches to begin. Let me show you the first chain stitch. Place the hook above the yarn, wrap it counterclockwise, and pull through. That's 1 chain. The chain should look like a V on the front, and there's a little bump on the back called the back ridge. Chain 2 more stitches, and now we have 3 chains. Continue crocheting until you have 60 chains. I've finished crocheting the 60 chains, and you can see the front and back of the chain stitches. Every chain has a V shape in front and a bump, or back ridge, behind. When we crochet the first row of the base, we'll crochet into the back ridge of the chain, which helps prevent holes from forming in the middle of the base. Now, let's learn how to do single crochet stitches. We'll start from the second to last chain, which is the 59th chain, and we'll crochet 58 single crochet stitches from right to left. First, insert your hook into the 59th chain, making sure to go through the middle of the chain and under the back ridge. Then, wrap the yarn around the hook and pull through a loop. Wrap the yarn again and pull through both loops on the hook. That's a single crochet. This method will encase both the back ridge and the top of the chain. After the first single crochet, use a stitch marker to mark your place so you won't lose track. Continue crocheting one single crochet into each chain, making sure to catch both the back ridge and the top of the chain as you go. Keep going until you reach the last chain, and we'll go over the next steps then. I've finished crocheting 58 single crochet stitches, and now I'm at the last chain. Each single crochet stitch should have a horizontal bar underneath it. That's the leftover part of the original chain stitch. Be sure to watch for the V shape on each stitch, and don't crochet to single crochet stitches into the same chain, otherwise, you'll need to undo and redo the stitches. Now, we're going to crochet 3 single crochet stitches into the last chain and then turn the corner to start the other side. Just like before, we'll crochet into both the back ridge and top of the chain. Once you've crocheted the first single crochet, rotate your work slightly. Crochet the second single crochet into the same chain. And finally, crochet the third stitch. At this point, make sure to incorporate the 16-inch tail into your stitches so the base stays nice and tight. After the third stitch, continue crocheting 58 single crochet stitches back along the other side until you reach the last stitch. Here, we'll use the stitch marker to mark the next increasing spot. I like to make my stitch markers easy to remove, so it's less hassle when I need to take them out. Now, crochet 58 single crochet stitches, incorporating the remaining tails as you go. And we'll review the next steps once you've finished. We've now crocheted 58 single crochet stitches from the marker to this point, covering the remaining parts of the foundation chain. The pattern says to crochet 57 single crochets and 1 additional stitch. But the increase happens when you crochet an extra single crochet into the last stitch. So that's what we call an increase. Now, use your stitch markers to mark this increase, and the first round is complete. Next, pull on the fabric a bit to even it out, and trim off any excess yarn, but be careful not to cut too much. Also, remember, at the end of each round, you need to join the last stitch to the first stitch with a slip stitch. To do this, insert your hook into the first stitch, wrap the yarn and pull through, then pull the yarn tight, and pass the loop on the left through the one on the right. This connects the last and first stitches. Now, make a chain stitch to begin the next round. The second round is simple. Each side of the base has 3 stitches, so a total of 6 stitches, and all 6 will be increases. The rest of the stitches will be regular single crochets. Remove the stitch marker to start, and after you've done the first increase, place the marker in the second stitch of that increase. Now, you can continue crocheting 56 single crochet stitches, and I'll show you what to do when you reach the next marker. We've now reached the stitch marker for the second round. As I mentioned earlier, at this point, you'll need to increase in each of the 3 single crochet stitches. So, first, remove the stitch marker. Crochet 2 single crochets into the first stitch. Then crochet 2 more single crochets into the second stitch. After that, place the stitch marker back into the first stitch of the increase. This is going to be the 4th stitch from the end. Once you're done, move the stitch marker to the second stitch of the increase. Now you can see we've marked 6 stitches in total. Next, continue crocheting 57 single crochet stitches until you reach the next stitch marker. We've finished the second round of single crochet stitches. Remember the end of the first round where we had 2 stitches marked? In the second round, the last 2 stitches will also need to have increases. Now, place the stitch marker into the 4th stitch from the end and continue crocheting to increases. At the end of each round, you'll need to slip stitches into the 1st stitch. Insert your hook, wrap the yarn, pull through, and keep the yarn tight to finish the slip stitch. The third round will also be single crochets, so you'll just need to chain 1 to start. Crochet a single crochet into the 1st stitch and mark the spot. In the 2nd stitch, do an increase, and in the 3rd stitch, do a regular single crochet. Continue crocheting 57 single crochets until you reach the stitch marker. We've just finished the first 2 rows of the bag base. In part 2, we'll cover how to complete the entire bag base. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it.